Right. Here, someone says, "Bless you for helping out, Dan." Positive puppet. He didn't help. Now he helped off camera, but when it comes to doing it live, he's a monster. He's a monster. Thanks for the follow, incognito bumface. There you go, incognito bumface.
Incognito bumface. Oh, that's so good.
How have you been, Stuart? Last time I saw you was at Comic-Con, and you were working incredibly hard.
Or at least pretending to. Yeah, bloody hell. I somehow didn't get COVID, Ash.
I mean,
how did I not get COVID
I
at
don't
Comic-Con?
know. You're very, very popular. You were working hard. Like when you said you don't know, you were. It was incredible. It was non-stop. I was with you for ages, and it was non-stop.
Yeah, we're just talking to people and being nice to people who are nice to you, usually.
That's
easy,
it's not. We all know Dave did all the work, says it's now. Well, I've got a funny story there because me and Stuart, we went and did our catalogue show on the big stage. It was incredible. I saw there was loads of people queuing up, sort of round and around and around. And I thought that can't all be for us. It turns out it absolutely was all for us. It was huge. But they'd started it at the time that the general admittance went. People could come in. So we had people running to get to the show, which is amazing to see two men reading from a catalogue. And it felt...
I'm going to miss the page about the toys. Get out of my way.
The regular viewers will be pleased to know we did go straight to the toys for the live show. And then, so when you were like, right, we're going to go back. You can come and have a chat. We'll be back at the booth. We're going straight away. So me and you dart across to your booth and we sit next to each other, and obviously, Stuart, people want to come and see you. They want a piece of Ashens action. That's what they want. But no one even looked at me. No one looked. And then apart from I turned to Dan from Anatomical Bomb and I said, I just want one person to recognise me from what we've just done, from the Polybius heist movie, or just generally from things that I've done in my career as a stand-up comedian. One person. Dan recognised me. Thank you, Dan, but you knew me. And no one was. And then someone come up and went, Ash. And I looked up and went, yeah. He went, Ash. And I said, yes. And then he went, oh, no, excuse me, could you get Ash? And pointed at Dave, who was sitting behind us. And it was to tell him about a thing that just happened on the show that we'd just done. Like, he just watched me for an hour and then didn't know it's me. He didn't know it was me. He got the wrong person. It's incredible. It was incredible. Never have I been so unfamous. There was like 300 people in a room all looking at me, and not one of those people then recognised me straight afterwards.
Perhaps you were very heavily lit.
Might have been. I think I might have put people off because we had very, very comfortable chairs, and it was suggested that if we heavily promoted the chairs, that there was an opportunity we might get them.
I've already got one. Look, I'm sitting on it now.
What? Did you get one from that? That's not fair.
Oh, no, not from that. Years. Literally years.
I wanted my one because it was a Spider-Man one. But
it was cool.
So I sat there and just went, oh, this is a very comfy chair. Very comfy chair. Really minty. You looked at me. Were you there? You didn't say hello. After all that, after all this time together, you didn't say hello. Absolutely. Well, there you go. I loved it though. Absolutely brilliant. And I'm hoping we could do some more.
Yeah, need to get thinking about that.
Yeah, we really do.
What we should do is just like break into people's houses at 4 a.m. and just perform it.
I think
that'll get headlines.
I think people are up for it. Yeah, you've got to have something. You've got to have something a bit different, haven't you?
Yeah, that's our hook.
Anatomical Bomb says they can smell desperation, and at Comic-Con that says a lot. Dan, you can't talk about the people like that. That's unfair. Really minty. I was the guy who brought the Totty book. Oh, that's you. So you did. At least we did speak. Really minty. I had no idea that was you. That book is terrifying.
That is, isn't it? The thing that got me about the book was, it was like, well, obviously, when they've made it into the terrifying TV series, they've added a lot of... No, that was quite accurate, actually, wasn't it?
It's really, really scary. Really scary book. So if you don't know Totty, it's a thing that me and Stuart watched on Stuart's channel where it's a doll. Who was it by? It was by...
Oliver Postgate did the animation and stuff. I
He did
forget
the
who wrote the book.
Moomins and things, didn't he? And it's about some little some dolls, and one of them is just burnt to death, and it's a children's show.
It's worse than that for me. Isn't the burning to death? It's the weird way the other characters deal with it
They're
afterwards.
kind of fine with it.
Yeah.
Lady B says, "I'm still not over it."
Come again. Yeah, it was. It's the only thing I've watched for years, and bear in mind, I'm currently doing research on the video nasties of the '80s. It's the only thing I've watched for years which made me feel slightly off.
Yeah, it really made me
horrible.
feel off. It really, I promise you, it did. It was strange.
Yeah.
So, right, let's get on with I'd Watch That. So, Stuart, I know you as not only an incredible YouTuber and Twitch streamer, but a film maker. You've made movies, you've been in movies, and you have produced movies.
This is true. You were in one of them, so it definitely happened.
Well, this is another thing from just to show how desperate I am. Someone come up and they did recognise, oh, hello, Ash. And then they were waiting to queue for you. And they said, oh, we're going to get one of these posters, a Polybius Heist poster. And I said, oh, who's your favourite character in Polybius Heist? And the person went, it was Stuart. And I said, okay, but who was your favourite character? And he looked at me and he went, it was probably Dan. It was probably Dan. And I went, no. Who was your favourite? And I promise you, he went, Eli. Come on, please. Just, I know I wasn't, but please just say it. Partner was the best. Correct. It's now. Thank you.
That gets a bonus point for knowing that the character is called Partner. Well done.
I just need a tiny bit of ego massage. And Comic-Con was the opposite of that. It was a kick in the nuts every 30 seconds. My son, someone come up to me genuinely and went, oh, I love the videos your son's been doing. I was like, come on.
The worst bit was when your son came back and thought somebody else was his dad. What's going on?
He's still living with Dave now. That's not fair.
Dave just doesn't like to say anything. He's too polite.
He's just living there. Oh God. Right. But yeah. So, what kind of films do you like? Because you've done, you've been in various different types of film. Well, what is your dream type of film?
Oh man, I like all sorts of bloody films. I really do. I've been watching a lot of folk horror recently. Got quite into that.
Horror.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I don't even know what that means.
Have you ever seen The Wicker Man? That is probably the finest example.
So what does it? I have seen that, but what does it mean?
It's kind of a sort of almost. It's weirdly specific for what it is, but it's basically a sort of slow burn horror generally, which is based around old traditions and beliefs and somebody often stuck in a sort of situation.
Someone stuck in a Wicker type thing.
Yes, which is on fire.
I think they are the scariest thing, when you feel like that could be something that genuinely happened at some point.
Yeah, that is, or something people genuinely believe. There's often quite a lot.
Carrie Ladd said that is Nick Cage's favourite work, greatest work. Sorry, you meant the Nick Cage one. It seems such an odd choice of a remake.
I know, it's so bizarre. I've never actually sat through the whole thing, but I think it is better than the actual official sequel to The Wicker Man, The Wicker Tree.
They made a real sequel?
Yeah, only a few years ago, and it's the same writer and director. And it's bloody awful, like incredibly bad.
Were they cashing in, or?
I genuinely don't know what they were thinking, because it's so bad. It's like there was more to enjoy in the Nicolas Cage remake. It's based on a book, I think, called Cowboys for Christ, if I remember. But
that sounds like one of those sort of protest groups coming out of America. Yes. You know what I mean?
It kind of is in the thing. It's basically some American evangelists go over to this small island community sort of thing, a bit like in The Wicker Man, and it doesn't end well for them.
So was it anglicised rather than Americanised?
No, I think that's how the thing originally was. The idea that this American group comes over and tries to sort of get the pagans.
Are they literally? Are they American in the film? I must have misremembered.
Yes.
I thought they were.
Oh yeah, no, this is The Wicker Tree, not The Wicker Man.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay,
But yeah,
well,
don't watch it. It's naff.
I know I'm not going to. I haven't got the space in my life to be able to watch these terrible films that are actually terrible. Me and a couple of friends used to have like a crap film night where we'd watch the brilliant crap films. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yes.
I think the mockbusters. We'd watch them. And like what was it called? The Robot Cop and
Oh God.
Transmorphers, and
Transmorph. Oh, the Asylum. Yes.
we'd
Terrible
watch those.
remake people. Yeah.
But then we'd love them. They were great, but dreadful. But I don't think I've got time to actually watch genuinely bad films.
No, you kind of want to avoid them because they're crap. That's the problem with crap films. They're crap.
But you actually make a living out of watching them every now and again, don't you? You stream them.
Well, we try and find the ones which are going to be entertaining, or even we go in not knowing they might be genuinely good on all levels, and they never bloody are they, Dan?
Well, now let's make some films that might be genuinely crap, and let's see if we can get any that people would say I'd watch that too. I think that's what we need.
Certainly.
To do now. I'm going to
The
make
real
sure
King Doom, Lair of the White Worm, yeah, kind of is folk horror. It's a little bit loose, but I would have said yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I like the sound of it. I
It's
genuinely
only
think that
Hugh
is-
Grant film, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty good fun if I remember. Haven't seen it for like 30 years, but
10 Speed still haunts me, said Albino Crocodile.
the first one we watched was we found this VHS cover for a film called 10 Speed, which had never been released on anything other than VHS.
Is it
And
about
it was
a haunted bike or?
no, it's just it was a comedy about a bike race, basically.
Oh, it was about a bike, at least.
Yeah, and it was incredible because there's no references to it anywhere. We managed to find sort of a digitized of a VHS that
How does it
nobody had seen or
exist?
heard of.
I don't understand how it can even exist. Like how those things still are out there. If it's made all those years ago, no one watched it. There's nothing left of it. How can they still exist?
All you need is that one VHS that somebody has recorded on the internet somewhere.
Someone saying I didn't mind Hollywood Monster.
Oh, Hollywood Monster or Ghost Chase. That was something that felt like it should have been good, but was just mostly disappointing.
Real Kingdom took a sick day to watch 10 Speed. I was violently ill due to the movie.
It's one of the better ones we've watched, I think.
Right, well, let's see if we can make anything better over here. I'm going to check that your sound is up because I might have turned it down. You just don't know.
No, it's looking good.
There we go. So, can we all hear me? So what I want to do, something slightly, if you've watched the previous two that we've done with Justin and Ross, there's something slightly different I want to do this time. When we've made the film, when we've talked about the film, I want to get the audience, I'm going to call you guys, to give it a score. Now, I don't know. I think the best way to do this is going to be out of 100, right? We're going to make a note of the score at the end, and then I'm going to do a leaderboard for the best rated films from the audience. Now I've said that, and I have got a pen. There we go. So when we've made up the film, just in the chat, put your score of that movie. It's going to be like your Rotten Tomatoes score, your percentage score, and then we'll see. We'll see which is going to be the best film going forward. So Stuart, are you ready for your first I'd watch that movie?
Yes, I bloody am.
If you're not, then I can't help that. It's going to happen. So here we go. Here's your first movie. Fast and Rogue.
Ooh, that's
Fast and
nice.
Rogue. So literally, it can be anything you want. It can be, what's the word? It can be abstract. It can be on the nose.
Okay.
It can be whatever you want. So I presume. Oh, James Cotton, thanks for the follow. See, now you can do the follows. I'm less scared now. Although I'll still probably get confused by it. Yeah, Fast and Rogue. So I presume that is the Fast from Fast and Furious, and Rogue. It could be from Rogue One, or I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
What are you feeling for Fast and Rogue?
Do you want a plot synopsis?
I want a plot synopsis. Damn straight
Okay.
I do. I want everything you've got
Yeah.
for me.
Okay, Fast and Rogue is an action comedy film where Ted Fast, He's the best there is at what he does. He's a private detective who has to team up with Susie Rogue, who is a reporter who is trying to crack a big case. And they attempt to help each other to bring down the corrupt chief of police, Bastard
Oh,
McGinty. Not his actual name, that's just what they call him.
so is he McGinty?
Yeah, Bastard McGinty. That's him.
Um, so is what when you say Fast is the best at what he does? Is he a
Yeah,
policeman?
no, he's a private investigator.
Oh, he's a PR. So what was
He is an ex-policeman, of course, thrown off the force for something that wasn't his fault, probably.
what was it?
Let's have a think. What's a good thing to have done? It'll be something like, he tried to take down a corrupt politician, but they took him down because they were too connected.
So is there going to be the thing where Rogue, which I mean, don't employ a policeman whose surname is Rogue. That's what I'm saying. No,
She's a journalist.
Oh, she's the journalist. Sorry.
Yep.
So is Rogue trying to push Fast to out the policeman, the chief? What was his name? McGinty.
Bastard McGinty.
But Fast is reluctant because of what happened to him before.
Yes, basically, but also at the end he gets to take down the corrupt politician as well because he's involved.
Oh yes! Oh, redemption for Fast.
Yeah,
what was his first name? Sorry,
Ted. There is a movie character I think called Ted Fast in a really dull film, but somebody describes him as he's the best there is at what he does or something, and I can't remember the film.
Are you telling me this is a sequel?
It might be. I've just nicked the character. I can't remember the film.
Could someone please Google Ted Fast?
Yeah, I think it was Ted Fast. Yeah.
I love the idea of just it saying he's the best at what he does, but not really explaining what it is that he does.
Exactly.
It just is the best at it.
Yeah.
And so
what
Rogue,
does he do?
So Rogue, what was Rogue's surname? Sorry.
Susie Rogue.
First name Susie.
Yeah.
And so has she got a backstory? Is there a love interest here? Is it?
Oh yes, yeah, potentially. Yep. Basically, she's the one who's uncovered all the information about corrupt chief of police, and she goes to Ted Fast because he's the best there is at what he does, and feels that he's the only one who could bring down the corrupt chief.
So by
finding more info.
Is Fast a heavy drinker? Is he your PR? Is he sitting there? Is he like opposite the desk is empty because either his love interest or actual like work partner died? Or
I think when he was sacked from the police force unfairly, he hit the bottle quite hard. So now he's completely teetotal. He daren't touch the liquor.
Oh, really?
And that's a plot point that he daren't.
Is he constantly reaching a hand towards it? He's like, just
no. And even when he's undercover, he can't have a drink. You see, which causes problems.
Oh, there's a scene in the film. So are you thinking this is this a film that's being made now, or is this a film from like previous? Is this an 80s film, a 90s? Like what?
Well, I mean, it could be one made now. If it's one made now, I imagine Fast will be played by Dwayne Johnson. But this feels a bit more sort of mid to late 80s, doesn't it? Maybe even Tango and Cash era, early 90s, doesn't it?
Okay, yeah. So do you want to cast it? My big issue is that I'm rubbish with actors' names, so I find it very difficult to cast anything. I would just say Dwayne Johnson or one of the Avengers. So can you cast it now from the 80s if it's going to be in the
absolutely.
80s?
It's going to be late 80s. Fast is going to be Don the Dragon Wilson, and Rogue can be Cynthia Rothrock, and they can have some kung fu action as well.
Cynthia Rothrock.
Yep.
I don't know who that is.
So she's an 80s direct-to-video sort of karate actress lady.
Lovely.
From China O'Brien, various other films which somehow still aren't out on DVD, which makes no sense because they were huge rental.
So I'm going to ask you, as I always do with these films. Oh, did something pop into your mind?
Ghosty Fish and Albino Crocodile, thank you, have discovered Ted Fast is from, and they're right, Thunder of Gigantic Serpent.
What's
That was
that
the
about?
film. Yeah, Thunder of Gigantic. I can't remember. All I can remember is this constant joke about Ted Fast. I'm beginning to
Really?
wonder if I've even seen the film and it was a friend who did the joke. I wonder.
He's
Remember
the
anything.
best at what he does.
Yeah, he's the best there is at what he does.
Okay, so is that the tagline for the film? I always ask for a tagline for the film.
Yeah, they're the best there are at what they do.
I'm writing that down because they're the best they do.
Best they are at what
Ah,
they do.
best they are. Does that make sense?
They're the best. No, but it does. It does grammatically, but it's torturous. So it kind of works as Nate's tagline.
They're the best they are at what they do.
They're the best there are at
There
what they
are.
do. Yeah.
I put the best they are, which makes even less sense.
I suppose the way to pronounce it would just be they're the best at what they do.
No, we can't. I think
Oh,
it's
hang
got to
on.
be.
No, they're the best there is at what they do. That figures best grammatically, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but do you want it to be the best grammatical?
No, I don't. I quite like the idea that it's written on a VHS case. You're like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Mainly for Richard Sandling to look at 20 years later and just go, what's this in me? They're the best there are at what they do. Absolutely excellent. And right, so can you? So is it like one of those big budget 80s films? Is this going to be the thing? Is this the blockbuster?
Oh no, this isn't a blockbuster. This is a straight to VHS.
Really?
If possible. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay, straight to VHS. Oh, these are the ones I was watching though.
We all were. Yeah.
My mum.
Mind you, if it's be more mid 80s if it's straight to VHS. Yeah, mid 80s. That's fine. It's fine.
We used to spend quite a lot of time in a video shop because my mum had a hairdresser that was next door to one. So we were basically babysat by a woman in a video shop because I guess my mum would just say, "Oh, could you watch the kids?" I didn't know that at the time, but we'd just go and sit in there, and the woman would just put Flash Gordon on every single time. But I think we probably could have got away with Fast and Rogue as well at the time. So in terms of like, imagine the trailer, the big scene that you're banging on in the trailer. Like you want to sell this film. When you watch the trailer in the other VHSs, what are we seeing? What's the sort of go-to thing in the trailer? The selling point.
So the trailer will, of course, have a massive, impressive explosion stunt in, and that is actually all the action in the movie.
The budget
trailer.
pissed away on that one explosion.
Exactly. It's probably a car chase, and a car goes up on a bank and goes, and then flies. Something goes like that.
Okay, and they had to do it one take because the money just wasn't there to do that more than once. So you probably see a camera.
That's true of most big stunts, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. You might. See
it has to suddenly cut away at the end in the film. It's slightly too quickly.
And in fact, there's like the rumours: did the stuntman actually got injured in the thing, or something genuinely caught fire or something like that?
That's yes. They accidentally crashed into the director's car.
Really meant he says an exploding ambulance that never appears in the film itself.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. I mean, I'm going to say it straight away, and viewer, I think I'd watch that. I think you've hit the nail on the head on the first film. I think that sounds like a great film.
Oh, that's quick then. Good work. Thank you.
So going over to comments, and bearing in mind I'm useless at these. So Arctic with a Q says Fast and Furious sequel. So you've got a lot of people saying Fast and Furious.
There's a lot of those already.
Yeah, Fast and Furious in the Star Wars universe. People are saying a buddy cop movie, so it's kind of that. Real Kingdom says 80s buddy cop movie. Not quite, because I like the idea of it being a private investigator and a reporter. I like that. It feels like they could put a bit more pressure on the reporter because, like, what's she going to do about it? She's not got the backing. The police probably don't like her. Plus, the police are rotten in this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But
sorry, Albino Crocodile says there's probably an adult movie with that title.
yeah.
Could be. Again, James Solomon says sounds a bit like a sex shop movie. So, and a lot of people agreeing. Let's have a look here. Fast and Rogue, he's good at intermittent fasting, says Drunkula. Dan, let's see what Dan says, because let's see if Dan is being encouraging and growing, or whether Dan is trying to take us off rails.
And growing.
Anatomical Bomb says, slept with the
His heart
chief's
grew
wife
3
whilst in a
sizes.
drug... Slept with the chief's wife while drug deal went awry. Yeah, so Warrior Miller says this plot sounds way better than some recent Hollywood films. So it's difficult. I don't know how which ones to read. I'm not very good at this. Good old Teddy Fast says Positive Puppet. I love that Ted Fast is an actual character from something else. That's amazing to me.
Yeah, this is a different take.
It's definitely
coincidence.
not a sequel. Definitely not a sequel. They're the best a man can get, says Really Minty. They reached Vicky Gold, Vid Gold. They are each the best at what they respectively do.
That's great in a trailer voice. They're the best at what they respectively do, what they are, they is. That's a guarantee.
You can. Oh, what's happened there? Something's happened. The Gothic bibliophile is now following, and I moved that because I put it in the wrong place. Thank you very much for the follow. That's lovely. They're the best we have for what we need, says Billy Viking. I like taglines. I really like taglines like that. There we go. So it is actually Fast and Rogue. They're the best there are at what they do. Straight to VHS. I love it. If in the comments, if you can give it your score, I don't know how this is going to work, but I feel like you give it a score and I will write some scores down. I don't know. I literally don't. I haven't thought that through, but I'd like to be able to rate the films. Is basically what I'm getting at. Right, or at the end. You know what? At the end, just say which one is your favourite and give it a score. Not Positive Puppet says 90%. Let's do. You can do it now. 7 out of 10. I mean, I should have thought this through. I haven't done.
I thought you'd done this before.
I've never done this. I've never done that before. This is a new thing. I wanted to sort of have them rated, and I now realise that it's an absolute disaster because now there's just loads of percentages.
What I would do is
first time chat from Stuck 1984 says 69%. The first person put 69, and well done on that being your first thing that you put in the chat. I very much appreciate that.
What you want to do is do a poll at the end with just all the names, then people can vote for which one they like.
I should have spoken to you beforehand, shouldn't I? So this is the kind of thing I'd have spoken to Dan about, and he'd have been very encouraging about when we did it, and then on stream he'd be going, "This is a disaster. What the hell do you think you're doing?" Okay, I love that. Fast and Rogue, that's your first film. Are you ready for your second I'd watch that?
I am, but aren't you going to show the cheap show thing first?
Yes, you are very good. I would not have remembered. So now, I mean, thank God you're there. Literally, thank God you're there. Viewer, an advert from our sponsor. It's Cheap Show, and I've not seen what they say, so apologies if it's genuine.
I've seen it. It's fine. It's fine.
Because it could go one of two ways. But watch this advert for Cheap Show, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds' time with Stuart's second film.
Get a load of this guy.
Hi, we're interrupting this programme to tell you about our Cheap Show 7th birthday Twitch event. It's happening on June
18th. Fuck's sake, mate.
June 18th on Twitch. Look for Cheap Show, etc. Or go to our website, thecheapshow.co.uk.
I'm doing the numbers.
We're linked. What's that number? 7?
18.
So yes, join us. We've got guests, Mr.
I can do
Biffo,
numbers.
Ethan Lawrence,
Are
Ash
you
Frith.
doing numbers now? It's my thing.
I'll do 10, you do 8.
No, you're listing the guests. Be there.
Be there. Come on. We've been going 7
Gonzo.
years.
That's nice, isn't it?
That's the kind of content we'll be doing.
Gonzo, look at that. 7 years, eh?
7 years of Cheap Show. Come celebrate us on Twitch.
7 years,
June
eh?
18th. Shut up. Just shut up. Forever, please.
All right, I fucking will. I'll go.
Cheap Show, Twitch, Cheap Show, etc. 18th of August. Join us. We've got
Fuck
guests.
off.
It'll be fun. It's a muckabout. You could be there too. Bye. Are you going?
You've done a big smelly poo.
I have.
And we're back. And we are back. There's people there saying finally got to find out what Cheap Show is. You've waited all this time. So it's the 7th anniversary of Cheap Show. This Saturday they're doing a Twitch stream. I'm on it. Ethan Lawrence is on it. You've seen him on TV. Biffo's on it. And Stu. No? Not specifically bad. That's very good. Well, you weren't banned then, because I've been banned before, obviously, because of my previous actions. But yeah, looking forward to that. So do tune in, and oh my god,
The reason I wasn't speaking off, there we are, it's back, was because it looked like I wasn't muted from here, but there we are. It's all good.
I'm useless. This is a real issue with me being useless. I've got a button there to mute and unmute. I don't know. All these people that have followed, you've got to be prepared. This isn't like any other streams. This is Ashens meant to be muted, said Strunker. Obviously not. Obviously not. Oh no, muted. Because often I'll do a thing where I do like full screen on my face when I'm playing games. Because I play Polybridge on here as well sometimes. And then I'll just start playing again. And people just go, it'll be 100 comments just going, your face! It's just your face! And I've forgotten to change the camera. But it's part of the charm, I think. It's part of the...
It's what people come for.
They come for my face, if you'll excuse the expression.
Don't we all? Yes.
There's a tagline. Right, are you ready for your second film? And I apologise for nearly forgetting to do the chit. Like that just shows how professional you are. You're like, Ash, don't forget you need to do that advert for your friend's thing. Right, here we go. Your second movie. Will it be and I'd watch that? Here we go. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Cop Hours is your second movie. That's lovely. I mean, I feel like it's somehow chosen these films specifically for you. Cop Hours feels like it's right in your wheelhouse. It really does.
So there's a cop called Ted Hours. No.
Yeah, John Cop.
Yeah, John Cop teams up with Ted Hours.
Well, when I did the first time I ever did what has become I'd watch that, I did it on stage, and the first ever film I made was called Arse Blood. Come up, Arse. Were you there for that? Were you there for Arse Blood?
Arse Blood? I feel like I'd remember that. Surely.
It was the ass from Kick-Ass and the blood from First Blood. That was the first one I ever did when I did it on stage. Arse Blood. Absolutely brilliant. But I had the whole bit, I did 20 minutes on statistics from films, basically, and the number of names. So I took all the action heroes and took the names from all the films. And it was the fact that John, like in 90% of these action films, the lead guy is just called John or something, Frank or John it was. And so it would just be like John Cop in those films. Or John, it's just ridiculous. I can't imagine writing a film. They go, "Roll, what's the lead character's name?" And they just went, "Not important. John. It's fine."
Yeah, it's a standard name, isn't it? John what? I don't know, John Johnson. Done.
Yeah. It'd be a bit like that. Well, there was one. Bruce Willis was called. It was like a gritty urban cop. Blah blah blah, and his name was John Urbanski. Just urban. Right, so Cop Hours. Is this a film about the PR department of a what's it called? Where you go HR? Like these guys are working too many hours.
God damn it! They're not taking their proper breaks.
Yeah, you've got a lunch hour. You gotta take it.
God damn it! The city runs on lunch hours. It could be co-op hours. That'd be amazing. We need that extra O. So this is mid-90s Christopher Lambert sci-fi fest, where in the future crime is so rampant and dangerous that everybody of a certain age is actually forced into the police force, like national service. And if you do your cop hours, which is equivalent to 1 year as a cop, then you get to retire. But the thing is, half the people don't make it that long because they get shot by bad guys.
I mean, genuinely a brilliant synopsis for a film, Stuart. You should make films. That's
I should.
What a brilliant idea for a film.
You can't get films with original ideas made. This is the problem. I've got books full of these bloody things. It's never going to happen.
So what? So it's so corrupt and dirty. Like whatever.
It's almost like Escape from New York, where there's whole areas which are just lawless.
And so instead of going into the army, you're just like, you reach 18 or whatever, and they're just like, right, you've got to go do your cop service, your cop hours.
That's exactly it, yep. And everybody has like a digital clock on their locker, which counts down with a really crap 80s digital display, yep. And then every so often, somebody comes in, they're like, oh, and they just take the nameplate off and it resets. Oh no, Urbanski died!
I mean... I'd watch that. You've managed to get two. I'd watch that. I think I have. It's brilliant. What a brilliant idea for a film.
Thank you. We try.
So we've got Christopher Lambert when he was at his height, like Highlander. Is this post Highlander?
Yeah, this would be like sort of when did he do Fortress? Around that time.
It was definitely at the time that he was flying, wasn't it? That was he was big already. Was he with Fortress?
Oh yeah.
So it's now. I just want to say it's now. It says, "Wow, I actually want to watch this." Ghostfish says the casting is terrifyingly appropriate.
And they'll do that thing of him having his obvious French accent, but they'll explain it away by saying something like, "Oh yeah, he's from Denver." Or something.
Well, he was so deep undercover when he. So is he just doing his cop hours, or is he like what's the sort of plot? So that's the overarching thing.
Well, he's got some sort of arch nemesis of who killed his sister or something, a head of a gang.
So has he just been called in for his cop hours?
Yep, but the thing is, he's reaching the end of his cop hours because he's one of the best there is at what he does.
Yeah,
and. The problem is he needs to nail this guy before his cop hours run out. Because if he doesn't, he has to do another full 6 months. And he's unlikely to... If you extend your cop hours, it gets extended by 6 months at a time.
And
so he's like, oh yeah, don't want that. I got to go off because his wife is pregnant, like in Fortress.
Oh, wow. Okay. And so is it set in the... So is this you say... 90s, did you want to say 80s?
Yeah, I'd say a
mid-90s.
few years after Fortress, so like 96 or something.
And so, but is it set? Thank you, Mid Boss, for the follow. Is it set in the future? And Captain Fluffkin for the follow. Thank you.
It's got that kind of Escape from New York RoboCop vibe, where it's slightly in the future.
So it'd be
10 minutes into the future.
It's set in 2020 or something like that, isn't
exactly,
it? 2020.
Yeah. But they don't specify. It's just like the near future, New York City. Whatever.
So who's the bad guy? Have you got anyone for the bad guy?
Oh, well, the problem is the bad guy I would want would probably be Clancy Brown, but that's too on the nose. So the bad guy in Highlander. So we need to find somebody else.
Well, if they've got what's the word? The chemistry.
Yeah.
What's to say?
Maybe you could bring him. I was wondering though, it could be that guy who's the villain in Invasion U. The villain in a lot of 80s films. And he was getting on a bit by the 90s. And that might add an extra bit of interest. But I can't remember his bloody name.
So what is he...
Who was he?
What is he doing? Eric Roberts, someone says. Bad guy is Eric Roberts.
No. Not the one I'm thinking of. No, he'd do a good job, but what's more visually interesting?
What's he doing?
He's the head of the local gang and obviously had killed Lambert's character's sister, because we haven't named Lambert's character.
Yeah. Oh yes, of course. Thank you. See, there you are again. Yeah. You should be on everyone.
So it's personal, you see.
What's his name?
That is the question. It'll be something like Eric.
Something like Eric
Roberts. No, Eric. Eric Tannhauser. They'll give him a German name for.
Yeah,
just make it more confusing.
They'll go, I'm not having this German guy coming in here. What does he know about... What's the city called? Is it going to be
Who's this guy from Denver who has a German name but sounds French?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they didn't care in the 80s and 90s, did they? They would literally just say he's German, even though he's clearly French.
Exactly.
Um,
Oh my God! Hang on. We have to give a bit of a James Sullivan kudos here with the tagline. This time it's personnel. Genius.
Lovely.
Genius.
Are we going with that? I'm happy to go with that, unless you've got something better.
Richard Lynch. That's the guy. Thank you, Beardy. Yeah, Richard Lynch should be the bad guy.
I mean, I've got a button where I can press it. We can look at IMDb so I can see his face.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Let's see how that works. So there's IMDb.
That's definitely Dwayne Johnson.
Let's search IMDb. So this is smooth. I can do this. This is smooth. What's his name? There's an advert. Richard Lynch.
Richard
Sorry,
Lynch.
I'm not sure about
Oh, there's
that.
Alexa.
Alexa, play songs by the Bevis Frond.
There's an advert. Don't smoke. Richard Lynch.
Oh, it doesn't pick me up.
This guy?
There he is. Yes, that's the
Richard
guy. Yeah,
Lynch. He's our bad guy.
yeah,
There he is. Born in 1940.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Could be in his 50s then. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Look, if he's in this with Chuck Norris, then he's in this film. Look at his films. Wow. You are wasted. He's in Death Sport. He's in Invasion USA. Look at him just randomly fire. He's looking at us, Chuck Norris, and he's shooting off in two different directions.
It's the most canon cover of all the canon films.
That is incredible. That is incredible. There he is. Okay, that's great. Great choice, I think, for your bad guy then. Right, give me, what is the sort of big scene? What's the thing that I always say the best thing to say is like the shark moment in when you see the shark in Jaws. What's it going to be for this?
Well, this one is going to be about just before the begin. No, let me think. How do you construct this? Just before the end of the second act, the evil man played by Richard Lynch. That is his name, the evil man. He gets in a situation where you think that Lambert's character has got him, and it's like, oh, but isn't it too early? Oh no, he's actually led him into a trap, and there's this whole like city block area that's all decrepit, but it's full of death traps, and now Christopher Lambert has to fight his way out without being killed in any of the traps and things. And there's lots of explosions and shooting and running about, and he has to use his MacGyver-like wits to escape. And they use loads of that in the trailer because it's got explosions in.
Again, they've got a small budget for that kind of thing. Pop it in the trailer. Absolutely lovely. Well, I think that's brilliant.
We need the tagline, don't we?
Yeah, unless
this
you're
timeless
going...
personnel is genius, but
I think you can.
I feel nicking it from chat is a bit naughty.
Yeah,
that's
probably true.
Time is running out for crime or something.
Time is running out for crime.
Crime time ends. No, that makes
So
sense.
obviously he kills the bad guy in the end. Have you got a death scene for him? Is there a way that you can kill him? Is it going to be time related?
Well, yes. Oh God, yeah, throws him into a giant box, and that's a bit too on the nose. Well, the bad guy's got to have a hook, hasn't he? Maybe the bad guy's hook. Richard Lynch is like really acts like a game show host or something, and hence setting up all the death traps. That was like his theatrical thing, and he has like a really gold lame jacket or something. Plays up to it a lot as being sort of in this theatrical mode, and in the end, he gets thrown into a big old CRT television and explodes.
Lovely, absolutely lovely, and because it's such a huge TV, he's just his legs sticking out like this.
Exactly. Yep.
As he's been electrocuted.
Yes, that's it. Exactly. Yep.
And what did I just see there? Cop hours. He's just 89 minutes till retirement. That's a lifetime. And what's the city called? I didn't ask that. Is it New York? Or is it like Mega City? Or is it...
Does it have to be a real city that's collapsed, doesn't it?
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, New York's a bit big, isn't it? Detroit's been done in RoboCop.
I'm going to interrupt you. Drunken has just said he always wanted to get into television.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
That was me doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger because I'm not very good at French or Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You always wanted to
Oh,
get
there
into
he is.
television.
How did you
There
have
we are.
that to hand?
This is a really expensive head off a really expensive Arnie action figure, but weirdly you can get just the heads off Wish for like a £5, or you could at one stage.
Obviously, Stuart, the only action figures that I'm interested in.
Ah, there we go. Oh, look at that. He's
Absolutely beautiful.
amazing. I'll sort that partner one out, actually.
Oh, yes, you must. Imagine that, Stuart. Imagine how I'd be. Imagine how I'd cope. So what are we saying? What city? The clock is nicking, says Stu C 1984.
Oh, that's clever, but too British, but clever.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, I don't. So my
Oh,
big thing
God.
is
Maybe it's something like an entire state. Like one of the states, like the whole of Florida has fallen. Or...
me and you getting into states again. Do you remember the time we
Oh,
tried
no.
to? For an hour, we tried to name all of the states. We turned off chat. Then we tried to name all of the states. And when we turned it back on, everyone was so angry. They were just like, "You've forgotten Chicago." Is that a state? I don't even know. I've
No,
lost
it's
my...
not. That's
No, I was going to say
blimey.
Illinois, isn't it? Is that Illinois?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Illinois, as I say, yeah, absolutely.
Let's not get into it
God.
again. Let's not get into it again.
Oh.
So yeah, okay. What are you going? So a state? Do you want to? You want to say which state?
No, it's a secret. It's got to be. Always got to be one of the big ones. It's something like literally ridiculous, like California or Florida or something.
Yeah,
One of the big
Florida has
coastal
gone
ones.
down because there's got to be a scene where someone gets eaten with a crocodile.
Yeah, that's quite good. Yeah, maybe
Um,
they've tamed the crocodiles.
Someone says it's set in Ohio, but the VHS cover has it written as 410. I don't know what that means.
Oh, because it looks like Ohio in digital.
Oh, yeah. See, that's. I'm sorry, I'm useless. Clocking in to cop out, says Geek Meets World.
Oh, clocking in to cop out. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Oh, yeah, he's got to clock in before he can cop out or something.
yeah, that's good. Cop
Yeah.
in to clock out. You can't cop. Don't cop off when you're clocking in.
I see.
Do gators have lasers on their freaking heads? I don't think we're going to do that. And Anatomical Bomb, just to prove to you, says cock in. We don't know why he says that, just to throw me. I will read.
That's his favourite look-in magazine offshoot.
Cock in.
It's all about chickens. It was fine.
I love that. I think Cop Hours, again, 100% I'd watch that.
Good.
That's brilliant. Cop out with your clock out, says Beardy Viking. Right, brilliant. Are you ready for your third? I'd watch that movie.
I certainly am.
Here we go. From Rumble.
From Rumble.
I don't know what the from is from. I don't know what the Rumble's from, but
Oh God.
we have From Rumble.
From Rumble. That doesn't work. We're gonna have to think. We're gonna have to think creative.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to think creatively there. That's a difficult one. Oh, the people are giving the scores, just so you know, and it doesn't work because some people are saying 95%, some people are saying 65, some people are saying it doesn't work. That's that idea I had that I hadn't thought through doesn't work. I'll do a poll at the end. Yeah, this is difficult, isn't it? Someone's just said that I've got a slogan. Let's get ready to rumble. That's what someone Ryan Shaw's just said. I love that people are still giving scores. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Do keep them coming in. I am enjoying it. 3 out of 5. I love that some are in percentage. Some are just 3 out of 5.
So you've got to do all the conversion.
I've got to do it all. From Rumble, what are you feeling?
Right. So we've got to be creative with this. So it's going to be all in the punctuation. It's going to be F:/ROM Rumble.
Nice.
And it's about the first robot to box against humans in the ring.
Wow, well done. Can I just say well done there? That was good. So
Thank you.
this could be sort of one of those it's a veiled I'm going to use the word allegory, but I don't think that's it. Because you've got this controversy now where they're talking about trans rights and things like that in sport. This could be sort of a veiled version of that to show people.
Well, that depends when it's made. If it was made fairly recently, it could be. If it was made in like the 70s or 80s, it'll just be about a robot. The lack of subtlety back then.
Yeah, that's true. So
Yeah.
what I'm getting is you've got a story here. This is deeper than a robot fighting a man. This is about
we'll
chance,
get rid of
right?
all that. It's just going to be about a robot fighting a man.
Yeah, they listened to the pitch and they just went, no, this is about a man and fighting a robot.
Yeah.
Okay, the F-ROM Rumble. So
Yeah. So he's version F. They've had versions A, B, C, D, and E, which have failed before.
they killed.
Yeah, they just got smashed to bits. Because the problem is, you
Oh,
can't
they
just have like
lost.
robots, like something out of Robot Wars, trundling into the ring and smashing people with a hammer fist or something. They have to look exactly like humans and have the same weakness. And because then you just have a person play that role, because that's much easier. And basically, yeah, they've got all these like little motors and things, but they don't quite have the strength to actually go up against a human strength in this sense. So they've got to train one to be really quick and clever. That's
Okay.
their filter.
So are you thinking? So it's Rocky, sci-fi Rocky.
Yeah. That's it. What somebody has done is they've seen that Rocky has been like a huge franchise. They've seen Arnie in the Terminator, and now they're like, right, we're going to make our own one. This has now actually dated it to sort of late 80s, mid to late 80s. Was interesting because I wasn't thinking that originally.
Terminator
We are now.
meets Rocky.
Yeah. So it's got to
mid-80s.
be one of the big muscly action stars of the time.
This
who
is
was
a
slightly
big
second fiddle.
movie. This is a blockbuster.
Yeah. The Canon put all their money into it. Nobody went to see it, but it did quite well on the rental market.
Is it Dolph Lundgren? Are they
It's
literally?
yeah, I was trying not to say Dolph Lundgren, but it is Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah,
there's no way around it. Yeah.
I could see it because like they saw him in Rocky 4 and they were basically like, we need that character, we need the Drago character back, but we're gonna have him as a robot.
That's it.
And has he got a name other than F?
No, he's definitely called F-ROM. That is his name. Yeah, F-ROM. Because the robot itself is always very similar, but it's the ROM or the brain of it that they change each time. You see, because they have to be so careful on how it's built due to strict rules.
And so, is he? Does he become self-aware at some point? Is he?
Oh yes, for no reason whatsoever. They've made him so clever and agile that's like, I don't want to die, Master. So it's Dolph Lundgren doing it. So it's like, I don't want to die, Master.
That was good. I see 3 of them, and then it says, "Oh, we'll just reintegrate your protocol drive." And
Yeah, but if you turn me off, I die. Yeah.
oh, that's good as well. And so go on then. What it becomes self-aware. They've built this perfect boxing. There's controversy about it. But so what happens?
Well, the thing is, the robot boxer is just put in as a bit of a novelty sideshow thing because it's always shit, and people love to see it get smashed down. But the guy who is playing the Hugh Jackman in Real Steel role, and sort of training it, is somebody who was a boxer himself but can't box anymore due to injury or something.
Yeah.
So he's got into all this, and he's like, you gotta show him. You gotta show him the
gotta
human
show him,
spirit.
Rock. You're a bum.
Being a robot, exactly. Yes. And
You're a bum.
it's become very
Rock.
personal for him, especially because he wants it to beat the actual human champion, because the human champion is the one who hit him too hard in the ring and caused his disability, which means he can't fight anymore.
Have you got an answer for this guy?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Are we keeping it? I don't think it should be boxing, actually. It should be more of a blood sport.
Okay.
Open, free-for-all thing. I think because if you're bringing how nimble they are,
Yeah.
maybe there could be some jumping about and kicking and stuff.
So it's a UFC type sport before that was a thing.
Yeah. Van Damme is in it, but in an early minor role.
Oh, really?
Yeah. How's about that?
Yeah.
Who does play the big fighty bastard?
So he's only just retired. If he's been beaten by the champ.
Yeah. So is the champ somebody who's a bit older?
Yeah, he's got. Oh yeah, it's
Hmm.
got to be someone who's been in it a long time.
Yeah, or maybe the guy who's training the robot should really have retired by now, but he didn't. He sort of, it's half his fault he got in.
He wanted
like,
that last paycheck, or
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he wanted to prove something because of bad beef with the
Ryan Shaw says
champ.
Jack Nicholson back in that day. I don't know.
Probably not going to be that good at the action. Oh, I see what you mean. If he's the retired one.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think who would be a good. It'd have to be one of the kung fu guys. Is it? No, Chuck Norris never played bad guys. You can't get Norris in.
But so this is like, so he doesn't, the trainer who's training Ephron, he's a good guy. So who?
Yes. Yeah. Who is the bad guy champ?
Yeah, we need a bad guy champ and we need a good guy trainer.
Yeah, the good guy trainer. Jack Nicholson is interesting. I don't think they'd be able to kind of film. It would just feel a bit. Who's like who was around in the 80s doing small roles and is a bit like Burgess Meredith? Ernest Borgnine. There we are.
Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine.
I'm going over to IMDb again to have a look at Ernest Ernest.
Ernest Borgnine. Yeah.
EST. There we go. Let's have a look at him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But so he's only just retired in this.
Yeah, no, he'd have had to have retired a while ago, so we're going to have to.
He was born in
older
1917.
No, Borgnine's not going to work. Damn it!
Oh god, he's got to be in it.
Case,
he's got to
no,
be
I know
in
it
it.
is. Borgnine is the computer expert, obviously, but his son was beaten to death in the ring by the champ.
Oh, okay.
He's doing it to avenge his son. There we are.
Someone says that Stuart's mic keeps cutting out sometimes. That's probably something I've done. I can only apologise. I don't know what that
I cannot help this situation.
That'll be me. That'll be me. That is... He's a great, great character choice in there. Right, so this is the first time I'm going to ask this question. This is an 80s film. Who's doing the theme tune?
Oh. I reckon they managed to. They probably splashed out on the theme tune.
Yeah.
And, like, it's got a load of contemporary rock songs, even though it's set slightly in the future. Probably off the back of Top Gun. Maybe they got one of the Top Gun guys. Maybe it's Harold Faltermeyer.
Harold Faltermeyer.
Yeah.
Write that fast. She's given me long names to write down. So it's a very...
Apparently Ernest Borgnine's middle name in real life is Ephron.
Yeah, it is. His name...
That's unbelievable.
His name is... also... Do you know what? His first name isn't Ernest. His first name is actually Hermes. Ermes. Look at this. I can actually show you. Hermes Ephron Borginio.
Oh, bloody hell.
Look at
Very
that.
Italian.
Hermes Borvine. And he won an Oscar in 1955.
Yeah, for Ephron Rumble. Yeah.
He enjoyed boxing. He took no. Yeah, he's in. Great choice, Stuart.
So he likes boxing and is actually called Ephron.
I mean, I didn't even realise that. When you just said it, I didn't realise what you were saying. His name is Ephron.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just thought you were like, that's just a silly middle name. I didn't realise you were saying. I mean, has there ever been a more apt piece of casting?
That was incredible. I'm very pleased with that. And that's off the back of... Was he in Airwolf?
He was in Airwolf, yeah.
I think he was Airwolf.
Yeah, he was in Airwolf, wasn't he? I mean, I always think about this. Like, when he saw something like Airwolf, and I feel the same about Alec Guinness and Star Wars, I feel like they would have just gone, what's going on here? I don't understand any of this crap. You know,
Alec Guinness famously is on record for saying that.
Oh, really? Is it?
Oh, yeah.
He was just like, this is tosh.
Yeah, but to be fair, from the way the script sort of worked on the set of Star Wars, I think everybody thought it was pretty much they were just doing their best. But Then it all came together.
It all worked out quite good in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, it did quite well, I heard. Yeah.
I heard it did. I was going to go 80% for this one, but that casting pushes it up to 90%. Thank you.
We still haven't come up with the bad guy champ.
Oh, no, yeah, you do need that, yeah.
Maybe it'd have to be somebody properly into the martial arts like Bolo Young or something.
I don't know. Who
And
it is.
we haven't decided who plays Ephron. Because it's going to be
Oh,
somebody
you're
who's
not,
just...
you're not going Dolph Lundgren?
Oh, yeah, we are. We've already said that, haven't we?
You
What on earth are we
did
talking
that.
about?
You did.
Yeah, we've literally done it. It's fine. It's fine.
I need a tagline.
I need a tagline. Right, let's think of the ways we can go about this.
People are suggesting Andre the Giant. Oh,
Andre the Giant. Oh, that's cool.
definitely a cameo at the very least from Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Let's
Taglines.
Get your taglines in, viewers, as well. I'm more than happy for you to give a tagline.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult. It is quite difficult.
It's machine versus. This is what it would time period be. Something like it's machine versus man in the fight of the decade, or something, or the fighting for humanity's honor, or some nonsense. Yeah, well, that would make sense because the robot's a good guy, but it would man versus machine. But
Oh, I like that you said it's machine versus man
machine versus man makes more sense. Yeah,
in the fight of the decade.
Yeah.
No, I like it because it almost doesn't make, because you'd always say man v machine, but I like the idea of it being machine versus man because
he's the main player.
he's the main guy.
Yeah.
1,000 megabytes in one mega fight, says Billy Larkin. That's great. That's really great. Man created machine. Now he must destroy it, says Mid-Boss.
Oh, but that sounds like the machine's the bad guy.
Yeah, Ghostfish. Yeah, that's true. Ghostfish says surely the robot has to have a totally unnecessary female love interest with massive hair. Probably.
Oh yeah, she's the technician. Yes, and she has glasses so big it's like she's got a turtle glued to each eye.
Isn't it? I've often said this. Isn't it weird in 80s films? Because it's the same in Rocky, like where the female love interest takes off her glasses, and you're meant to go, oh my God, she's so beautiful. Like, oh my God, she was hidden behind those glasses. Like, how thick do they think? Like, if my wife, she wears glasses sometimes. If she is wearing those glasses, I go, oh gosh, she makes me feel physically sick. And then she takes off her glasses, and I go, oh my, be still my beating heart. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Has the reversal ever been done for a joke in a film? Like, there's a really beautiful woman with glasses, and she takes them off and is literally just replaced by like
just don't
some
get it.
90-year-old with bizarre makeup or something.
It's just bizarre. And because like, if my wife, to be fair, like she's a beautiful lady, but she takes her glasses off. She's as blind as a bat, and there's nothing sexy about seeing a woman stumbling into a door frame.
It's exactly the same when a girlfriend wears glasses. It's not. Yeah, it's not like. Oh man, there's nothing more hot than a woman stubbing her toe and falling over.
Yeah. Oh, she's going to seductively walk over to me in the bedroom, takes off her glasses, and just boots the bed. Nothing.
Lying on the floor, rubbing it for 2 minutes. Yeah.
I saw another line. Oh yeah, this from Ryan Jr. Shaw 97. I love this one. It's very Ashens. Created by man to fight like a man.
Oh my God, that's the tagline, isn't it? Can a machine learn what it means to be a man? That's it, isn't it?
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, it can. It does. In about 89 minutes, actually, if you watch the film.
Yeah, I reckon. Lovely.
Yeah.
You did really well there. From Rumbles, was difficult, and I think you've done absolutely lovely there, to be honest with you. That was a lovely bit of work. Right. Are you ready for your fourth film?
Oh my God, there's 4 of them. Bloody hell.
Are you ready?
Ooh.
Here we go for your next movie. Heat Fallout. That's a good one. All of these films, like they all feel like 80s brilliant films.
Yeah. These all sound so 80s. Or is that just the way my mind works? I don't know.
Thank you, Simmons Dude, for the subscription, for the sub, I think the proper Twitch streamers would say. 7 months. Thank you. That's incredible. I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm taking the piss, but thank you. That's great. I appreciate it. This is the good stuff. Like that's the Heat Fallout and From Rumble really are getting the people in, aren't they? How can you not follow and subscribe after that?
Heat Fallout. So this is made around the sort of what year were all those bloody cheap CG disaster movies in, like The Day After Tomorrow? That was about 2005 or
Something
something.
early 2000s. Yeah, they sort of started like because there was those disaster movies like was it I want to say Dante's Peak, is that one, was that the Pierce Brosnan thing, and
It's Volcano.
Deep
Yeah.
Impact, Volcano.
Yes. Oh my
um,
God, Armageddon.
so
Yeah.
was that end of the 90s, beginning of the 2000s? It
Yeah.
feels like it.
That is it. And what it is basically a play on the day the Earth caught fire, where what has happened is the Earth has somehow tilted on its axis or some bullshit that doesn't make sense science at all, and is getting slowly closer to the sun. So it's like, oh no, everything's heating up and everyone's going to die, and oh no, all the crops and all that kind of stuff. And they have to set off like a big nuclear explosion on the other side of the world in order to put it back as it was before.
Well, Stuart, the Earth moving. This sounds a lot like an allegory for what's actually happening on Earth, Stuart.
Yeah, well, you see, that's what they've gone for, even though it is a remake of The Day the Earth Caught Fire. Although in that film, you never find out, I don't think, if their plan worked or not.
Oh, and do they in Heat Fallout?
Oh, yes, more Hollywoody.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you don't. There's not many of those films where they leave an ambiguous end, is there? Like that, there isn't that so much. I was listening to something the other day where they were talking about what were they saying? Where they were like, no, you do have to have an end. There was a film where they were like, oh, we want to leave it open ended, and basically the studio just went, no, you have to tell.
It's very hard to get away with an open end.
Isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's definitely hard to get away with an open end.
Yeah.
I just find all of this it's the same as comedy, you know, where it's like they go to a comedian, they say, we want you to write a show and put together a team or whatever, and you write the show, and then they go, yeah, no, I've got a friend who had a show basically greenlit, and they went, actually, we want it to have this in it, and he was like, oh no, that's not how this is, and they went, we think it is, and he's like, well, no, it's my character, I know that isn't how it would be. I don't want that. And they're like, okay, well, if you don't do that, we're not making the show. And he ended up going, okay, we're not making the show. But so many, like, just let the creative person make the creative thing, and then that's where success comes from, isn't it? Like, you think you'd be able to say to Spielberg or whoever, just do whatever. Like, do you know best?
Yes, Spielberg can get away with more.
Do you think? No, more, yeah, certainly. But I mean,
absolutely, yeah. It's difficult. The producer, we only ever generally hear it when the producers have messed up, but quite often there is a sensible producer who says, no. At the end of Jurassic Park, don't have Sam Neill's character eat one of the children. No,
yeah, that's true.
No, this is really important. It's in the original crime. The good decisions are made by good producers, but not all the time. In fact, as far as I know, it's kind of about 50-50 whether they fuck it up by making it too generic or actually do make a good call.
That's very fair. You're very level-headed, Stuart. Very true.
Well, I've seen both sides of the industry.
You have, and I'm excited to find out what you veto on the next film that you produce.
Yeah, Ashfrith out.
That could. I fully expect that. That's fine. Right. So,
where everybody? Oh.
Where do they set off the nuclear bomb? That's my big concern. Is you're saying they set off a nuclear bomb on the other side of the world? So I presume this is an American-centric film.
Yes, they have to set it off in China.
Yeah, this is causing a lot of controversy, and this is in the 90s, 2000s. They're literally.
This is the problem. They realise there's only a relatively small area do the thing properly. Big explosion, the nuclear bastard they've got. But the problem is it's somewhere inhabited. So they have to basically destroy almost like a third of a country and, get everybody out.
They've got to go to their enemies? Is it going to be a Russia or a China? Where there is, they've got to have, it's the most impossible negotiation. Because they're at loggerheads already.
There would be political fallout from that. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Is it somewhere in Siberia? Chinese, but this is wrong. But they have to agree and do it in the end. It's all political manoeuvring. So some incredibly beautiful actress gives an impassioned speech at the end about how it's going.
She takes off her glasses. No one's listening. No one's listening, and she takes off her glasses.
And underneath are a slightly smaller pair of glasses, and they're like, "That's good because that's more attractive, and yet you still look scientific." And then, yeah, now we're listening. Yeah,
I like it. Who's in it?
People. Let me have a think. So you need the chief scientist to be a popular actress of the 2000s, early 2000s. Odd. Who was around then?
James Solomon says Pamela Anderson.
This worst kind of stunt casting. It's getting so hot in the sun. I'd better take off all the clothes except this bikini and run around in slow motion. I'm trying to think who was in the 2000s. Denise Richards. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, the runner.
Gravity. Yeah.
Was she a runner?
No, not the runner, no, the actress.
We've made a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
This
we can't remember a script. What's going on?
You'd be good at running away from explosions and things.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it might be. Could it be Terry Hatcher or somebody?
Oh, it's Terry Hatcher.
Terry Hatcher, that's a good one. Yeah,
it's Terry Hatcher.
Yeah. And we need somebody to play the American president, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, go on.
But who would it be? You can't go with Morgan Freeman. That was literally Deep Impact.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I don't think of somebody. Oh God, it'd be one of the older acts in the tooth. Oh, is it going to be Dennis Quaid? He seems to play the president half the time anyway.
Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
He's the prez.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And so Terry Hatcher's going to be the doctor that's basically going, this is what we've got to do. This is how we're going to sort it out. Is there going to be, in these films, there is normally the male love interest. Unfortunately, the guy that kind of gets the credit that he doesn't really deserve because the doctor's done all the decisions. Is that going to be? Is that going to be the kind of thing, or is it?
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Yeah, but he gets caught out at the end or something. No, I think there's going to be conflict between the Chinese government and the American government. We don't need too much, but maybe her ex-husband is involved somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
And what's ex-husband? Yes, it's a personal thing.
She's no doctor. I don't know why.
It's like, they're gonna work together, but we can't even sleep together anymore. How can we work together?
She's no doctor. She's my ex-wife. Don't know. Right, give me a. I mean,
he's a very spiteful man. Yes.
We can't. We need a tagline, obviously, but I also feel like this film definitely would have a soundtrack, would have some music. So I need both of those things.
Oh, the Chinese president should be James Hong. That's just the law.
Okay.
No, the president can't be a woman gravity gunner because it has to be the scientist character, and they'd want some sort of juxtaposition there.
They definitely would, yeah. I mean, we've done well getting Terry Hatcher as the main star of this film. Back in those days, imagine going, yeah, Terry Hatcher's the lead. And they go, yeah, but who's the male? And we go, no, Terry Hatcher's the lead of this.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, what? We're groundbreaking, Stuart.
We're breaking new ground.
We really are.
One shovel at a time.
And is that the tagline? Breaking new ground in China. A line here from James Solomon. This is just a line from the movie. I said nuke the Chinese, not the world.
I said nuke the world, not the China. No, wait, dog.
Someone said,
let's go back.
Someone said, did you just cast Gilbert Gottfried as the president? I did a bit. I don't know why. We've got to clear the... That's not very good, Gilbert Gottfried.
Didn't he die recently?
Yeah, he did. The aristocrats.
That's the last line.
There you go. He goes, I think we're going to pump the Chinese. The aristocrats. It's the worst thing.
Oh,
we go.
music! You want music?
I do.
Mm.
Gravity Gunner. I assume this movie bankrupted the studio that made it. Definitely, yeah, it struggled. Is this a financial loss, Stuart? What's the budget of this film?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was surprisingly big budget for the time. Most of it due to early CG of explosions and things catching fire and the Eiffel Tower melting.
Oh, that's the scene, isn't it? When you're doing the trailer, that's the scene.
That's in the
Yes, the Eiffel Tower
Absolutely.
just gradually melting, like landmark. We did the Independence Day, you know, where it blew up some of the big iconic places.
Yes,
This is them melting, basically. Yeah, the White House is singed brown.
Yes. Oh God, that's it. Yeah. All the European stuff is destroyed, but the American stuff manages to just get a bit scorched.
Yeah. Of course.
I'm trying to think. Was Henry Jackman working? He did. God, he did one of the Uncharted games actually, like X-Men First Class.
I don't know who Henry Jackman is, but I'm prepared to find him.
He's a.
Right, so Heat Fallout. Can I have a tagline for Heat Fallout, please?
Certainly. I should have thought of that while we were doing all this.
Oh, you should have.
Yeah. Now, does it play off the fact that it's the most important diplomatic mission in the world? Things are hotting up. No, that's terrible.
I quite like things are hotting up.
Yeah. The fate of the world rests
on Terry Hatcher's shoulders. It's really just straight down the line.
Yeah.
Heat Fallout.
They can't get along. The planet burns. No. Oh man, this is a difficult.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
Something like it's a female lead. It's the year 2000. Please go. I think Terry Hatcher's going to smash this. Genuinely think she's got this in the bag.
I was about to say I was surprised she was never a Bond girl, but she totally was.
Yeah, she definitely
the
was.
The world was not enough.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
And then never acted again.
No.
Oh, she did. Was it Housewife? Desperate Housewives? She was in or something.
Oh, was she? Oh, that was massively popular.
It was
considerable time.
Fine. One country must die so the world can live, says Positive Puppet.
Oh, that's pretty good, Positive. That's pretty good. That is pretty good.
What about this from Beardy Viking? While the world burns, she keeps her cool.
That's good. Is there something with a spin on that?
Really Minty says we saved millions of dollars having a female lead.
Best tagline in history. People love that.
Horribly true.
Yeah.
I mean, this is quite dark from Mid-Boss. Can the Earth be saved, or will it be doomed to decay?
World burns.
Thank you, Skewed Tangent, for the subscription. That is very good.
Maybe
4 months.
Oh, blimey. Nice.
Thank you.
How about combining Positive Puppets and Beardy Viking? Like, one country must die or the whole world burns. Maybe that's it. One country must die or the whole world burns.
Must die.
Do you know, I'm wondering if it could actually be more about there are 2 potential places to have explosions and the 2 countries are arguing as to...
Definitely that. So maybe it's a race between China/Russia and America. They both sort of realise it at the same time. And then so it's about them desperately trying to not be the country that gets nuked. And obviously the Americans are like, well, it can't be us because we're America.
And the Russians are the only enough bomb. They've either got bomb
themselves or America.
The bombs are. Or maybe that's it. It's got to be China or America. And Russia are the ones with the bomb.
That's a brilliant. It brings everyone together so beautifully. Absolutely lovely bit of work. Yes, that's great.
Yeah.
I love it. I genuinely think it's good. One country must die, or the world burns. There we go. That
Yeah.
is Heat Fallout. Are you ready for your penultimate film, Stuart?
Penultimate. We're doing 6. Bloody hell.
We're doing 6, and I'm fully aware we might need to speed up a little bit.
Oh, okay, go for it.
Right, here we go. Bad Fury.
Bad Fury. It's about a dog called Fury. No. Bad Fury.
Bad Fury.
Yeah. Okay. I've got it. It's unfortunately it's again a martial arts film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but quite a purer one this time. Basically, there's a guy learning. This has got to be a Jean-Claude Van Damme gig, actually. He's learning martial arts, but he's got to learn to channel his rage correctly. He has to have the good fury, not the bad fury. The bad fury that took his older brother or his father
in a fight, in a blood sport type fight. Yeah, he lost his temper like he went to the dark side.
So that's it. Yeah, and now he's like evil and beats people up in Thailand or something. And yeah, he has to learn to channel his rage correctly.
And in the big fight, does he fight his brother at the end? Then is that what this is?
Oh yeah.
Is Jean-Claude Van Damme once again playing twins?
Oh, you see, that's a bit much, isn't it? That is a bit much.
I mean, I'm up for it. It did so well. What was that double? What was that film called that he was twins in?
Oh, good. Double Impact.
Double Impact. So it went so well for Double Impact. Are we doing Bad Fury once again? Jean-Claude Van Damme is the bad brother and the good brother again. They're fighting.
Several people are saying they misread it as Bad Furry, which would be a very different film.
He's bad, but he just doesn't dress up properly.
I think, actually, I don't think we should have Jean-Claude as twins. I think that has been done too much.
Yeah, it has by him. Yeah.
I think Jean-Claude is the good guy, but the bad guy has to be somebody different who's either his father or his older brother.
Yeah, I think older brother. I do like that idea. I think that his brother took the bad Fury and he's keeping the good Fury.
But then again, this is a little bit Kickboxer with the big brother who dies, but that's close enough. Who can play the brother? Who is the now evil brother?
That's great. Great question.
It's got to be another fighty man.
Yeah,
a fighty man who can play bad.
What about was Seagal ever a baddie? Was Chuck Norris ever a baddie? Never gonna happen.
No, you're never gonna get Chuck Norris to do it.
He's not.
Oh my God! So apparently, we've done Bolo Young Road. Beardy Viking has pointed out that Van Damme plays twins in 3 films. I thought it was only 2.
Maximum Risk and Replicant were Jean-Claude Van Damme twin films.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen. And technically, he plays multiple roles in Time Cop. It's the same character, but in different time.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not ruling it out. Him playing both. It's a thing that they did. I wonder if he got paid twice. What do you reckon?
Definitely not. Possibly more, but not twice. Oh, Mark Dacascos says Beardy Viking. Oh,
who's Mark Dacascos?
Oh man, hang on. Let me just double check that is who I'm thinking of. I was wrong.
I mean, I could press the
like
button, but last time I went to IMDb, it crashed the entire stream, so I'm scared to do it.
Yeah. Oh man, he's a proper kung fu guy. He's the one who. Oh, was he in the Crying Freeman? I'm gonna have to look it up actually because I don't want to get this wrong.
I don't know who that is.
Only Strong, Brotherhood. Oh, he's in Brotherhood. That's great fun. Yeah, Crying Freeman.
He didn't play twins in Replicant. He played a guy and his clone, completely different.
Yeah, no similarity whatsoever.
Dave the Bruce, thank you for the follow there. That's lovely. I've just realised everything has gone back to how it was before the thing crashed there as well. So my alert box has gone right to the back of the stream.
Yeah, I'm thinking Mark Dacascos as well. So it'd be his older. Yeah, you'd have to go in for, I think, half brother because they look so different. Or maybe they were training partners.
One's Belgian as well.
Yeah,
Don't
well,
forget.
yeah, one's inexplicably Belgian. We're used to.
Where's Mark Dacascos from?
Good question. I don't know. We'll
I mean, I
look it
could
up.
look
He
it
is
up.
from Hawaii. There we are.
So you got one. They were separated when Mark Dacascos went mad. Went bad. Mook was shipped off to Hawaii to be trained by an evil trainer.
Is there something where they had different same father and one's following in his footsteps? One isn't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's your film. You tell me.
Yeah. I'm quite liking that.
Okay.
Maybe you could switch it round, and actually, the martial art parent was the mother.
Yes.
That'd be amazing for the time.
Yes.
Because everything was the same.
The parents split when the dad went bad.
Maybe that's it.
He brought up the bad son. She brought up the good son, Van Damme. And then they come to meet in the competition, but the bad son needs to be redeemed. Whilst the dad is like, kill him. And then the bad son needs to...
He is an embarrassment to the family.
Destroy him. Plays by Frank Langella.
Yeah. Beautiful. In his Skeletor costume.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I was thinking,
Yeah.
Or the guy that plays the Emperor from Star Wars.
Ian McDiarmid, yeah, quite liking that.
Okay.
Yeah. And it is indeed a personal fight. And they probably get into like some sort of karate competition because they always do.
Yeah, of course. Two brothers. So I take it it's 80s, is it?
I think it would have to be. Okay. Absolutely.
And give me a tagline.
Oh. Right. Okay. It's got to have the word fury in it.
Of course. Yes, please.
Let's have a think.
Stuart goes into a meditative state.
Fury is inevitable. That's something along.
Oh, it's cutting out a lot. I don't know. That must be me that's the problem with the cutting out of the sound. But I lost your tagline there. It sort of goes silent between you talking sometimes.
Oh, that may be because you've got audio filters set very high. Can you hear this? Wait for it.
Oh yeah, could. Yeah, that's disappointing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'd rather have not been able to, then we'd know what the problem was.
Yeah. Oh, well, we tried. Yeah, it's got to be something like the channeling of.
Challenge.
Oh no, maybe there's got the two brothers, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, it's got to mention. I think the two brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah. Two brothers, each of a. No, okay. No, hang on. I might go in a different direction.
Ryan Shaw, you can choose your enemies, but not when it's your family. Two brothers, both alike in dignity. There needs to be blood in the tagline. Says Kumimono. Time to blow.
Yeah. Or something like joined by blood, separated by
fury.
Yes, that's it. Joined by blood, separated by fury.
There you go. Got there.
Yay.
Separated
we did it, everyone.
By fury. I'll write these down and then I'll look at them another day when I'm sad. Right.
They'll make me feel so much worse.
Absolutely love that. And it's very 80s, 90s. I'm enjoying the randomizer.
Yeah.
It's doing a lot of great work for us here. That's great. Right, Stuart, are you ready for your final film of
I am.
of the show? Here we go.
Go for it.
Heat Kill. Oh my goodness, you've had two
Oh, bloody hell.
hits.
It's the last one. It's the same as the last one.
What was the last one called? It was called Heat Fallout. So is this a sequel?
Ted Heat. um,
How's that come up? Heat of all the words.
it's yeah.
Heat is back.
Um,
Again, it's very 80s.
yeah, bloody hell. Heat Kill. So, oh damn, we can't go with the sort of Burning Earth thing.
No, we've definitely done that.
Yeah.
The prequel, before there was Fallout, there was Kill, says Grandpa.
This is them in college. Yeah.
It's just a college film. It's like a high school film set as the couple, Terry Hatcher and whoever her ex-husband was.
Okay. How's about the heat in this sense? Is the heat of the police?
Okay, yeah.
So, you're like, you've got a criminal who's got to perform one last heist because he's a good guy, really. But they've kidnapped his, and the bad guys, and if he doesn't steal this one thing for the mob boss, then they'll kill his daughter or something.
From the mob boss or for the mob boss?
For the mob boss.
Okay,
yeah.
What's he got to steal for the mob boss?
Well, that'll be a MacGuffin, wouldn't it? Big diamond. Doesn't really matter.
Diamond.
But the problem is the police are why he's wanting to get out of the whole business. And the mob boss is like, you do this one last job, get out. You don't do it, your daughter's going out the window on the 8th floor. Look, have a look, it's really tall. See? You see? She's going right down there. He's not good at explanations. So
He's just really literal about things.
Yes, yeah.
She's going out the window. This window.
Yeah, not that one. You're looking the wrong way.
I've turned round, for Christ's sake, Heat. What's wrong with you?
I'm not calling him Heat. Ted Heat is hilarious, but yeah. So that's it. So the police heat is coming down on him. And mind you, this Heat Kill sounds like he's got to kill all the police, and you can't really get away with that.
Well, the police maybe have got the shoot on sight, maybe that kind of thing,
Yeah, maybe that's it. That like the detective who is sympathetic to him for some way because they were in the army together or something. He's like, it's gone too far. It's gone too far. I tell you, we see you trying to steal something again, it'll be shoot on sight. Heat Kill. Yeah.
Okay. I like this. Who have you got? Who are you casting?
Well, I've just realised it's a real shame that wasn't Heat Krill, and it could just be like about cooking seafood or something. Anyway,
Do people eat krill, or is it just whales?
It's probably just maybe he has to cook for a big whale, a big comedy whale.
Who's washed up? It's a cartoon whale that's in New York.
Yeah. None of these names have in any way lent themselves to any sort of comedy or levity.
No, these have been very high action, definitely.
Yeah.
Someone said you'd need a lot of krill. You definitely would.
Yeah. We're gonna need more krill.
We're gonna need a bigger krill in shipment.
They try and breed a new form of massive krill. Each krill is like that big. Who's in this? It feels like it's got to be somebody, James Caan, in a later role or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a 70s thing. Actually, he could do it just after he did. He was in Thief, I think, James.
Yeah. Well, I think he'd play it well. Definitely do.
Yeah, let's have a look. James Caan is sure. Thief. Let's have a look. Yeah. 1981 Thief.
Yeah.
So it could be a bit before then.
Yeah, 70s. Yeah, 78. This is James Caan. Heat Kill.
Yeah.
So he's a criminal that needs to do one last job for the mob, steal a big diamond. I like that you were just like, that doesn't matter. It's a big
Yeah.
diamond. That's fine.
It's a MacGuffin. It doesn't matter. It's
Because
a game, child. It's a Polybius. It doesn't matter.
it does. How can you say that? The Polybius.
Because it's not about the machine, is it? You never see it running.
Never. That's true. That's the thing. That's the beauty. I mean, you should make up that folklore and say, yeah, we wanted to have loads of footage of the game, but it just kept going wrong, so we decided to,
Yeah,
you know,
kept killing people.
yeah. And then like Jaws.
Yeah, Gene Hackman has to be in it, but not as the policeman.
Yeah.
As the mob boss.
Wow.
So a bit of different casting, foreshadowing his turn
Superman.
as Lex Luthor.
Yeah. But I always think with Gene Hackman, I know this isn't the case, but I always see him as a sort of mild comic actor. Like I do see him just sort of mildly, I mean, like Superman. You know, he's playing a horrible villain in Superman, but there's still the twinkle in his eye, isn't there?
Oh, interesting. See, I've seen him recently in things like the French Connection and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's not very laughable in that, is it?
No, not really.
That's true. The biggest diamond ever cut, the Grand MacGuffin.
The Grand, we call it the MacGuffin. It'd be 2 on the nose with it.
The greatest criminal mind of all time, says Really Minty. Yeah, give me a tagline for Heat Kill.
I think we have to go with Beardy Vikings suggestion here. It's not Beardy Vikings suggestion. I'm sorry, it was Rodent of the Ash suggestion. Richard Roundtree as the cop.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Avish Shaft.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think that's genius. Yeah, I really like.
Very good. Very good.
So we need a tagline for.
We do need a tagline.
They brought the heat. He brought the kill.
No.
If he doesn't kill the heat will kill him. He has to kill the heat before it kills him.
Kill the heat.
This makes no sense.
Kill the heat before the heat kills you.
Girl the Dragon 32 says, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the killing.
I like that.
Genius.
Can we use that?
That's so good.
Was it?
That's so good.
If you can't, if you
V Jolt B8, sorry, 88 says, "Eat kill. It's me, Kathy. I've come."
Get out of the killing. Out of the killing.
So it's quite funny though, so it probably wouldn't work actual time, especially not for a 70s tagline.
Oh, that's true.
It's so good. I do like it.
Kill the heat before the heat kills you.
Yeah.
That was your one, wasn't it?
Yeah, he has to kill the heat before the heat kills him.
And does he manage it?
If he doesn't kill the heat will kill him. I don't know.
And so how does he get to keep the diamond?
That's a good question. I think in the 70s, this dark ending, I think what happens at the end is he realised Gene Hackman's evil character was going to kill his daughter anyway.
Oh, no!
Yeah, because he's a vicious bastard, and it's to do with where he feels that James Caan's fucked him over in the past. May not be true or fair, but so he's going to kill the daughter anyway. But what Caan does at the end is he has to save his. So in the end, Richard Roundtree gets to save the daughter, but Caan is killed, taking out maybe.
That it feels like, but is there going to be some ambiguity? Like sometimes you have it where he's dead, but then you just see she's sitting on a beach and the silhouette of James Caan just brings some drinks on a tray.
I think even more ambiguous, maybe when they're taking the bodies away at the or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. So that is Heat Kill. And that is your final movie, Stuart.
That is.
Thank you so much.
I'm glad they didn't all begin with Heat. That would have
a lot of them were cop based.
Yes.
Um,
It was very. They are very 80s cop film
They were
names.
so good for that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just looking, and on polls, I think you can only do 5.
That is
I
correct.
don't know
You
how
can
I'll
only
do
do
one, and I've
5.
done 6. We've done 6 films, so I'm going to leave one off. Christ almighty.
Planning.
Yeah, well, there has been no planning until someone suggested this. Okay, right. I am going to do a poll, and I've put 5 films in. I've
Good.
left one
Yeah,
off.
I think the last one was much weaker than the other.
Oh,
So,
okay. So what was that? That
yeah.
was Heat Kill. Heat Kill did
Yeah.
not make the
Heat
top
Kill
5.
is missing. Yeah, did not make the top 5.
We're starting the poll. The poll is live. It says view results.
Just point out to the people at home, Ash very nearly just clicked on end.
Did I? Did I?
Yeah.
You can see. You can see that. Okay. So you looking at this script? Oh, I've got myself. Do I view results? How does this work now?
Yeah,
I don't...
yeah, that'll do. If you,
So
if
if
you
I
click
just
on
hit
that,
that-
it'll tell you how it's going. Yeah, it'll bring up a web.
Dan's just laughing at me because I'm useless. It'd be good if people could see the poll. Will they be able to see the poll in the questions?
Yeah, the poll will. Yeah, you can. I can get it the answer.
There we go. So
I'm going to vote.
This is lovely. A lovely bit of business.
Oh, everyone's agreeing with me. Yeah.
I feel a bit sad that Heat Fallout has currently got no votes.
That wasn't as exciting as the rest.
Terry Hatcher, we've broke new ground here with that.
Yeah, but it was quite a sort of talky film, a bit deep impacty, wasn't it?
It was a bit. It was a bit, but just a bit sad that people didn't maybe, see it for what it was, a massive breakthrough. I mean, there's a huge, huge favourite for this, and it's going to take some massive turnaround at this stage for it not to win. When I imagine there's about 25 seconds left. If you haven't voted, vote now, and maybe going forward we'll only do 5 films rather than 6.
I would perhaps suggest 3, but get into it a bit.
There you go. So we're learning as we do it, aren't we?
Yep.
Because we're now 6 hours in. But that's the problem. You just don't know. I don't know whether you're going to come up with great ones. There might be a guest that comes on and just says the name of the film. Go, no, I've got no idea. I shouldn't.
That's fine. You can spend most of the time telling them they're shit. People love that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I reckon we've got about 10 seconds left. So if you haven't voted, vote as quickly as you possibly can. And we have a winner. Cop Hours.
By a landslide.
With
Huge
59% has won it. Cop Hours. So let's just review Cop Hours. That was a mid-90s Christopher Lambert. It was brilliant, wasn't it? He's forced into the police for his national service. His name is Eric Tannhauser, a German. The bad guy played by Richard Lynch is called Evil Man. I don't think we ever actually gave him a name. The tagline of which is, time is running out for crime.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. Stuart,
Good.
thank you.
That was my favourite, actually.
That was absolutely brilliant. I'm sorry for technical issues to everyone who watched. I'm going to try and work out what it is that cut Stuart's mic out, but I didn't want to do that whilst we're doing because I would have crashed it. I don't think I was responsible for the crash. I think
that was some software gubbins. There was nothing you could have done.
There's nothing I could have done any better, is what we're saying here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
This has been as perfect as it definitely could be.
Yes.
Stuart, all of these people know you already, but say there's one person in the stream that doesn't know who you are and what you do.
Just Google Ashens, Ashens.
And then Google Ash Frith. And there'll be nothing. There'll be absolutely nothing. Thank you so much, and Stuart's smashing up his desk. Thank you so much, Stuart, for your patience. Rodent says, thanks, Ash and Stuart. Thank you to everyone who watched. Absolutely brilliant. If you haven't followed, follow. The next guest is Dan from Anatomical Bomb on the 27th of June. So that'll be a cracker. So you might as well follow and then come back when Dan's on. And maybe we'll do less films. Who knows? Or maybe we'll do more just to really drag it out and make it more difficult. Thank you very much, Stuart.